Donald Trump holding a rally in Greenville, North Carolina yesterday, so depraved and deranged that the audience seemed visibly terrified. At one point, Donald Trump went on a long, incomprehensible rant about balls of fire and rocket ships. And then, in case anyone was doubting it, he insisted, I am not cognitively impaired. I am completely fine in every way.
You know Elon Musk? I said, I do. In fact, he endorsed me like so beautifully. His endorsement was one of the most beautifully written endorsements. That's in between those rocket ships that go up and down all the time. I mean, how cool was that, though, right? Yeah. I'm watching this thing. I said, oh, what's going on? I had no idea. I was on the phone with a friend, just to make it a little bit longer story. I was on the phone talking to a very important guy, actually. And I have the television muted. It's dead muted. And I see this ball of fire come, like a 20-story building. It's coming down, coming. I say, would you do me a favor? Hold it. I've never said, what the hell is happening? I thought maybe it switched over to a movie or something. And I put the phone down. Very important guy. You know what? I never picked it up. The guy was holding for like 45 minutes. I forgot he was on the phone because... And now all these idiots back there will say he's cognitively impaired because he put the...
Trump recognizes that these rants come off like cognitive decline. He's acutely aware of it. It's not a coincidence. Trump doesn't show up and say, welcome, everybody. It's so great to be here. Marjorie Taylor Greene is here and Mike Prillo is here. And I'm not cognitively impaired, though. Trump does it when his brain catches up to the absurdity of what he's saying and doing. He knows he seems like he's a cognitive mess at these particular moments, and that's why he chooses to bring it up. But hilariously, Donald Trump is continuing to obsess about and focus on Kamala Harris and saying, no one will talk about the cognitive problems of my opponent.
She's a mess. She's a cognitive mess, and nobody wants to talk about it.
The reason that no one other than Trump is talking about the cognitive mess of Kamala Harris is because she's so obviously cognitively fine. You can make reasonable critiques of Kamala Harris. You can say sometimes she is not prepared to explain exactly how she enacts a certain policy. She doesn't seem ready to say, this is something that I could and would do via executive order, or that I would have to build consensus on with the House and Senate, and therefore the House and Senate election, right? That's a criticism. Sometimes she says, here's my policy. How will you do it? It's not really clear. Fair criticism. You could correctly argue sometimes Kamala Harris goes on too long, not substantively, about the idea of something and starts to lose the crowd. Okay, I don't think it happens often, but like it's happened. But the idea that Kamala Harris is the one struggling cognitively, that's a really tough argument to make.
Saudi Arabia and Russia.
Yeah.
Will repeat your...
Okay. Donald Trump bringing up that if he becomes president, the long national nightmare afflicting North Carolina will end.
But under the Trump administration, we are going to take back what is ours. We will end the looting, ransacking, raping, and pillaging of North Carolina and, frankly, every other state in the union.
People in North Carolina saying to themselves, you're going to end the what now? The looting, ransacking, raping, and pillaging of North Carolina. We didn't think those things were happening. But if you're worried about them, Trump will end them. Trump talking about his weave, which is when he goes on a dementia rant. Okay. Donald Trump has come up with a term to try to put a positive spin on completely losing his train of thought and ranting incomprehensibly like he did 10 minutes before this clip. Trump calls it the weave, and he says that it's an incredible feat of public speaking.
Where the hell? They don't do that with anybody that I've ever heard.
Right.
With me, they do the opposite. I give them a gorgeous, full-flowing, magnificent, beautiful answer. I call it the weave, right? Always get right back to the right place, but you cover a lot of territory this way. But you give a beautiful answer, and then what they do is they take pieces of it out, and all of you say, what the hell happened to my beautiful answer? They do the opposite.
You know what's so funny about this? Trump wants to make the argument that when his weaves are taken out of context and you only see a little bit of it, it sounds like Trump has dementia, but he really doesn't. The problem is that when you play the full thing, like, oh, you know, if you just look at the 30 seconds where Trump talks about how big Arnold Palmer's penis was, that sounds wacky. But if you heard the whole 10-minute rant about Arnold Palmer, you'd go, wow, so articulate, incredible, prescient, on point. If you listen to the full 10 minutes, it's even worse because you say to yourself, why is he talking about this for 10 minutes? It doesn't make any sense. Also raising questions of why is Trump talking about this? If I were Trump, after having been accused of raping a 13-year-old, after having been found liable for a sexual assault, I would not be talking about rape, but for some reason Trump is talking about
the
it.
women. You remember when I first ran, I used a certain word, rape. Everyone said, oh, he used the word rape. Well, rape, the percentage of women that are raped on the trip up, I won't say it, but you won't believe the number. It's just a horrible thing that happens, all because these people, they made it, they're basically saying, come up, we'll give you education, we'll give you this, you can stop it all in one day, you can stop it all in 1 hour, you can close that. So I built the wall, hundreds of miles. I then ordered 200 miles more. We could have had it up in 3 days. It flips up.
All right, I think you get it. If I were Trump, I wouldn't be talking about rape personally. Later in the rally, Trump went full QAnon. QAnon loves the idea that Democrats are trafficking children for sex. This kind of goes back to Pizzagate and the whole thing. Trump continuing the QAnon stuff, and he says it is Kamala Harris who is one of the big traffickers.
She's responsible for more human trafficking than any person in history. There's never been a problem in human trafficking in history like this one, and she's responsible. If Kamala gets 4 more years, you will not have a country left. You're not going to have a country left. You'll have 200 million people pouring in from all parts, and mostly prisons and lots of other places that you don't want to hear about. Immediately upon taking the oath of office, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history.
There you go. So Kamala is responsible for human trafficking at record levels, and Trump will do mass deportations to fix it. And then finally, no good Trump rally is done until a strangely orange-hued Trump starts doing the double jerking dance.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
Absolutely terrifying, completely and totally. And if you're wondering, at this stage of the game, nearly November of 2024, who still goes to a Trump rally? Well, it's the same people that are attacking me on Twitter. I want to talk about that briefly next. Did you know there is only one VPN fully optimized for streaming 4K video and downloading large files? That's our sponsor, Private Internet Access. A VPN hides your IP address, allows you to make it look like your device is anywhere in the world. So this lets you stream content on Netflix and Hulu and HBO Max, not normally available in your home country. For instance, the show Friends is not available on Netflix in the US, but when I change my IP address to the UK, I can watch Friends on Netflix and a ton of other awesome content I would otherwise miss out on without lag and without buffering. Private internet access is also faster than other VPNs for file sharing, so you can download anonymously, but without the long wait times. Anyone can use private internet access. Just turn it on once and forget about it. No special knowledge required. And you can use it on all of your devices, TV, phone, tablet, computer. Private internet access is giving my audience 83% off, which comes out to just $203 a month, plus 4 extra months for free. Go to piavpn.com/Pacman. The link is down below.